Welcome back to the show, Phillies Nation. Grab a seat and take a deep breath, because the temperature in the city of brotherly love just went from mild concern to absolute fever pitch. If you have been refreshing your feeds, staring at the ceiling at night, wondering if Dave Dombrowski forgot how to use a telephone, this video is exactly what you need. We have been sitting here, watching the offseason unfold like a slow-motion car crash for weeks. We saw Ranger Suárez, our beloved cool-as-ice lefty, pack his bags for the Boston Red Sox. That one stung. It felt personal. Then we watched Alex Bregman head to the Cubs. We watched Kyle Tucker join the Dodgers' evil empire. The anxiety in Philadelphia was palpable. You could feel it in the streets. The narrative was starting to shift. Is the window closing? Are we done? But hold on. Stop the doom scrolling. Because the silence from the front office wasn't inactivity, it was the calm before the storm. We have multiple Tier 1 industry insiders dropping what can only be described as a nuclear payload of information regarding the Phillies, and a certain shortstop named Bo Bichette. We aren't talking about vague speculation from a random Twitter account with 12 followers. We are talking about Bob Nightingale of USA Today and Ken Rosenthal of The Athletic. When Rosenthal speaks, the baseball world freezes. And his words? He stated, quote, "I still believe rather strongly that he's going to end up with the Philadelphia Phillies." Let's analyze that word, strongly. In the coded language of MLB insiders, that is as close to a guarantee as you get without seeing the ink on the contract. This changes the entire complexion of our winter. The gloom and doom regarding the departure of Ranger Suárez is suddenly being replaced by the electric possibility of adding a two-time All-Star to a lineup that is already terrifying. But why now? Why is this heating up today? Because the market has settled, the desperate teams have made their moves, and Dombrowski, the predator that he is, has been waiting in the tall grass. This isn't just about adding a bat. This is a statement of intent. The Phillies looked at the Dodgers spending $1 billion, they looked at the Mets flexing their financial muscle, and they realized that standing pat was a death sentence. Bringing in Bo Bichette is a direct response to the arms race in the National League. However, before you go ordering your custom jerseys, we have to address the elephant in the room. This move is not free, and I'm not talking about money. I'm talking about the roster gymnastics required to make this work. This rumor brings a mix of euphoria and terror because to add a piece like this, something or someone we love might have to go. The stove isn't just hot, folks, it is melting the floorboards. Let's get into the tactical nightmare and the potential heartbreak, because this is where the dream scenario meets the cold, hard reality of Major League Baseball economics. If Bo Bichette walks through those doors at Citizens Bank Park, the immediate question, the one that keeps managers up at night, is where does everyone play? We currently have Tree Turner, an 11-year veteran with a massive contract, playing shortstop. Bichette is a shortstop. You cannot play two guys at the same position. So, what is the plan? The insiders are suggesting a seismic shift in the defensive alignment. We are looking at a scenario where Tree Turner potentially slides to second base, or perhaps even the outfield to accommodate Bichette. But that is the easy part. The hard part is the transaction itself. The Toronto Blue Jays are not giving Bo Bichette away for a bag of baseballs and a cheesesteak. They want value. And to clear the payroll and the roster spot for Bichette, the reports are indicating that the Phillies might be looking to trade a significant piece of their core. The names being whispered in the dark corners of the rumor mill are JT Realmuto, Bryson Stott, or Alec Bohm. Let's process that for a second. This is the protocol of pain that Dombrowski often operates under. To get the star, you trade the favorite. Scenario A, we trade Bryson Stott. Stott is the heartbeat of the younger generation of fans. He brings energy, great defense, and that Philly attitude. But if you bring in Bichette to play short and move Turner to second, Stott becomes the odd man out. Scenario B. Alec Bohm is the piece that moves. Coming off a breakout season, his value has never been higher. Do you sell high on Bohm to bring in Bichette? Scenario C. The most shocking rumor involves moving on from JT Realmuto to clear salary cap space, cap hit, to afford Bichette's extension and future flexibility. Historically, think back to when the Phillies traded Cliff Lee away or when they acquired Roy Halladay. Big moves require big sacrifices. If we acquire Bichette, we are betting on his ceiling. Yes, he had a down year in 2024 due to injuries, but let's look at the context. When healthy, this guy led the American League in hits entirely in back-to-back seasons. He is a hitting machine. He is only 27 years old. We would be buying a distressed asset with Hall of Fame potential. Furthermore, we need to talk about the farm, because while all this chaos is happening at the major league level, the Phillies just quietly dropped a massive bag of cash in the international market. They signed Francisco Renteria, the number 3 ranked international prospect, for $4 million. He is a 17-year-old Venezuelan infielder, already 6 foot and 200 pounds. Why does this matter in a video about Bo Bichette? Because it shows the organization's dual-track strategy. They are willing to trade current assets, like potentially Stott or Bohm, for immediate help, Bichette, because they are backfilling the pipeline with monsters like Renteria. It's a message that the window isn't just open for 2026. They are trying to pry it open for the next decade. However, the chemistry aspect cannot be ignored. This locker room is tight. If you trade a Stott or a Bohm, do you disrupt the vibes that carried this team to deep playoff runs? Or is vibes a luxury we can't afford when we are trying to catch the Dodgers? The analytics department is likely screaming that Bichette's bat is an upgrade over almost anyone we would trade. But baseball is played by humans, not spreadsheets. So here is the bottom line. The Philadelphia Phillies are tired of being the almost team, and Dave Dombrowski is preparing to push all the chips into the center of the table one more time. We have to look at this through the lens of history. Championship windows in the MLB are notoriously short. The 2008 to 2011 Phillies had a 4 aces rotation and an incredible lineup, but they only got 1 ring. This current group, Harper, Turner, Wheeler, Nola, has been knocking on the door, but they haven't kicked it down. The acquisition of Bo Bichette is the battering ram. It is an admission that the current roster as constructed is good, but perhaps not great enough to topple the superpowers in the West or the rising threats in the East. If this trade goes through, the lineup becomes a video game cheat code. Schwarber, Turner, Harper, Bichette, Castellanos. That is a nightmare for opposing pitchers. It puts the Phillies right back in the conversation for the best offense in baseball. But as we discussed, the emotional cost will be high. We might have to say goodbye to a player we watched grow up in this system. That is the brutal nature of the business. We also have to consider the what-if scenario. What if we don't make this move? What if we enter the season with the status quo and the offense goes cold in October again? The fan base will riot. They will point to this moment, to these rumors, and say, we had a chance to get Bo Bichette and we hesitated. In this city, hesitation is unforgivable. Dombrowski knows this. He knows his legacy is tied to getting Bryce Harper a World Series ring. If Bo Bichette is the missing link, Dombrowski will pull the trigger regardless of whose feelings get hurt. The signing of the teenage phenom Francisco Renteria is a nice security blanket for the future, but make no mistake, the Philadelphia Phillies are in win-now mode. The future is a problem for another day. Today is about building a juggernaut. Now, I need to turn this over to the jury. That means you. This is the debate of the offseason, and I need your honest take. Here is the question of the day. If the only way to get Bo Bichette is to trade Bryson Stott or Alec Bohm, do you make that deal? Are you willing to sacrifice a homegrown fan favorite for a superstar shortstop? Or does that destroy the soul of the team? I want to see a wall of text in the comment section. Type yes if you want the trade, or no if you want to keep our guys. Let's get a debate going. Smash that like button if you believe this is our year, and make sure you are subscribed with notifications on. The second this news becomes official, we are going live to break it all down. Stay hungry, stay passionate, and let's go Phils.